Commissary. Okay, before I got locked up, I had no idea what that word even meant. Still not quite sure. But basically, that is the store where you go to buy things in prison. Store being a very loose term. It's like saying Amazon is the place where I go to buy things. So today, let's talk about Commissary, what it is, and what it means to have one in prison. So let's talk about what Commissary kind of looks like. So there's this scene in Orange is the New Black, which I will try, if you're watching the video version of the podcast, to insert right here. And in this scene, she's actually, the main character is actually walking into a commissary and picking things out from on the wall, like you would in a grocery store or a mall or something like that. There's items you choose from and everything. This is some made up bullshit. So to help you understand it, let me kind of give you an idea of what the situation is when you go to a commissary. Imagine if you went to the grocery store, but there was nothing there. All there was a cash register. And you walked up to the cash register, and then you go up to them, and there's a line of people in front of you, and then a line of people behind you. They're all grocery shopping too. And you have to wait in line. You're standing in this long line of people, and there's no items to choose from. So you're going to the cash register empty-handed. So you go up to someone, and you go, "Hey, where do I get my things so I can buy something?"
Well, they'll give you your things. You have to just tell them what you want.
Okay, so I just make a list of everything I need, and then I give it to them?
Correct.
Let me just get a scratch piece of paper.
You can't do that. You need a list.
What?
Yeah, you need a special piece of paper that you can hand to them so that they can process it and then give you the right things back.
Oh, where do I get one of those?
Well, it should have been sent to you at home. You can go pick it up and bring it back.
Do you have a spare one? You ask the person standing in front of you. The person goes,
"I guess I can give you one of my spare lists."
And so they hand it to you. Not much different from a scratch piece of paper, but it has an official form title on the bottom and the top. Okay, now you start making your list. Okay, I need 5 tomatoes.
Don't have tomatoes.
Oh, okay. I need 2 heads of lettuce.
Don't have lettuce.
Oh, okay. Well then I need a box of Cheerios.
Don't have that.
Okay, this is really difficult. I need to know what I can get from the store. Once you get to the front of the line, they will print you an entire list of everything that they have at the store at this current moment. But if you want to purchase something and you don't have your list ready, then you will have to go to the back of the line and start the entire process over. Then you just pause for a moment, contemplate your life, and then ask this very nice stranger in front of you, "Hey, do you currently have an inventory list that I could look at?"
I guess.
And he hands you an inventory list. And you look at it, and nothing on that list is a brand you have ever heard of. Nothing is in a sort of packaging you would ever normally get. Cereal comes in bags, fish comes in pouches, and everything is freeze-dried, from milk to refried beans. All of it. And you're wondering what the heck you're going to do with any of this. That's Commissary right there. The best part of all of this whole experience that I'm talking you through right now, is that whereas in the beginning of this story, you just went to the grocery store, you showed up at this place and got in line, that does not happen at all with Commissary. Commissary is not on demand for you. It's on demand for the commissary. You see, the commissary will decide when people from certain cell blocks get to go. They will just call out when they want which cell block to go. Now, depending on how big your unit is, or depending on how the unit is run, they could get to you every single day or every other day. And then life is good. You have a nice life. Well, not really. You're in prison. If you're not in a prison where you can confidently say, I'm going to get in the store tomorrow, well, then you might be waiting a month, maybe more. You don't know. You don't know when the next time that the commissary will be called for your cell block. And that next time it might be called, you might be at work. And then they'll run through the entire dorm full of people who are not at work and then say, okay, we finished that cell block. We're moving on. And then you are now stuck out. It is very hard for me to describe how nerve-wracking this is. And what it really comes down to is how insanely bad the food is in a prison. Let's talk about prison food. Okay, prison food. Things I've found in prison food. Rocks, screws, locusts, unidentified substances that crunch, squish, squirt goo, and the rest has been very conveniently removed from my memory. Everything in a commissary is off-brand. The only brand name thing you're going to get is soda from a commissary. Maybe ice cream if they have it at this moment. The rest of it is all stuff you won't even be able to get in a grocery store or even a dollar store. This is some cheap, probably carcinogenic crap. And people want it compared to what we normally eat. That's how bad the food is in prison. People buy commissary so that they are not starving constantly all the time. When I first got to prison, I spent a year like not worrying about commissary, really not trying to go to store and just occasionally dropping by there and not trying to make it part of my life. The problem was I was getting so hungry that I was about to start fights because I was so hungry. That became a problem. And there are many people who are in the same boat. There's a lot of people who can't afford commissary. And then what they do is they come up with hustles to get food, to get things that they can, so that they can make it from day to day. It's not great. And commissary makes it a little better. And then the worst part about really all of this, about the inconvenience, the garbage food, that honestly, these brands that are being made, they're produced by inmates. Inmate slave labor, which even worse than the fact that these brands, these no-name brands, are no-name because they're produced by prison slave labor. Yes, you can be sent to a prison specifically to make commissary products that then get sold to other inmates. And there's the key. The thing that makes it so incredibly awful, that makes it so disturbing on just a whole nother level, is that these products are sold to inmates. Inmates don't, in Texas at least, don't earn money. Inmates across the country earn next to nothing, well below minimum wage. And they have to pay for it. They have to pay for these products that are manufactured by inmates. It is sick. It is a gross, disgusting, parasitic system. All so you can buy some dehydrated milk to mix with your not even knockoff brand Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which may or may not be completely stale by the time you purchase them. You see what I'm saying? It's really bad. Yeah. Commissary is a bit of a monster. I know I might be sounding like I'm like on some sort of high horse on the commissary issue. But like I said, inmates go to specific units to manufacture these products, to learn how to manufacture them, to bag them, to produce them, and for no money or very little money. And then they have to buy them back. Oh gosh. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, I'm pretty much ready to wrap up this episode. I think we've got it like on a nice little like we've tied a bow on it. We've got the whole gist of the commissary. And I will add this. As much as I hate commissary, as much as I think of it as a parasitic system that's awful and gross and disgusting and a mess, and I wish it didn't exist this way, I will say this. If ever a loved one, someone you care about, someone you're a pen pal you're writing, which also I always recommend write people in prison. It means the world to them. As much as I hate the commissary system, if you can, give some money, give some love to people's commissary. Seriously, $20 can go a long way in some commissary. And like, it might not be food. They might just be wanting, some decent toothpaste. Like, it's something, all right? It greatly improves their lives. It is unfortunate that you have to pay for it. Even in prison, everything is a pay-to-play system. But commissary, I'm not saying it's a necessary evil. I'm saying it is, as long as the prison system is the way it is set up right now, that is one of the nicest things you can do for an inmate on the inside, short of going to visits and writing them and just staying in regular contact. So, this is a very depressing episode. I did not expect commissary to go way down this rabbit hole, but it did. And for that, I'm sorry for all of us. If you have thoughts on commissary, if you've dealt with this, I would also love to really hear about commissary for veterans, for people who've like lived and worked on army bases. I have worked on an army base. I've seen the commissaries, but I've never actually been there. So I would love to hear more about like your experiences there, because I'm pretty confident they're totally different than the prison commissary. But I really would love to like mix and match experiences of prison versus military. In fact, also, one person I would love to talk to at some point is someone who's both been in prison and been in the military, because I have a feeling there's some very similar experiences tied in there. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to wrap this one up. Still lots more talking to do. This is only part 2 of my Crash Course series, so more to come. Thank you so much.